So we've just had the full council meeting, and councillors voted to increase council tax by 2.99% with a further 3% for adult social care. Any thoughts on how the meeting went?
Yes, thank you, Paul. I think I was disappointed that the Liberal Democrats and the Independents failed to understand the realities of the demand pressures facing this county council, despite all the information we laid out very clearly in the budget paper. We've asked for this money, the 2.99, so we could reinvest some money back into highway services, and I am highly disappointed that they refused to back that. I'm more disappointed because the 3% for the council tax, which the governor's told us to do for adult social care, if that hadn't have gone through, all 20,000 adults would have been worse off because we wouldn't have any money we'd have less money to spend on them. So I suppose I could sum this morning's up by, there was some good news when we got the business rate pilot of 20 million. There was some disappointment, and I'm not sure if it's going to change, but we've written to the Prime Minister about the transition funding of 12 million, which is going to be lost to Surrey. We've still got huge disappointments that we're going to end up with negative RSG, which we can discuss later. And on top of that, we've had to use our reserves and other funds to balance the books. Local government is facing some serious issues, and the government cannot just stand idly by while Rome burns.
Right, okay. Now, despite the financial challenges, the Conservatives still managed to increase spending for highways and for important voluntary groups. It seemed that the opposition didn't want to support that.
Yeah, that was a real disappointment to me, Paul, because I think this is about what we should be as game changers in our local communities. People went out last May and voted for us and asked us to stand up for Surrey and fight to make sure we put some money into local areas. And that's what we were doing with this policy. Yeah. We were going to give money to members so they could use it to help the community, the voluntary and the faith sector in projects.
Right.
Some other money was going to go towards members being able to do those small things, but important things that get residents annoyed in the highway area. And then thirdly, was the money we were going to put more money into local committees so more work could be done on the highway.
Right.
I am so disappointed that members of the Liberal Democrats, the Independents and ratepayers did not want to support that.
Yes. Okay. Now, you mentioned earlier about negative RSG or revenue support grants. Yeah. Can you explain to residents actually what that means? Because I'm pretty certain most people have no idea.
2 years ago, we were receiving about 200 million in revenue support from business rates the government used to give us. That's been eroded. In the last 3 years, we've seen that gone. And next year, in 1920, this council, Surrey County Council, has to send a cheque to the government for £17.3 million. That's equivalent to a 3% council tax cut. Now, I am not going to stand by and let that money be spent in Aberdeen, in Luton, in Lancashire, or even London. This is residents' money coming out of residents' pocket, which should be spent in Surrey. So I've asked everyone today to support me, but only the Conservatives stood up and are prepared to challenge the government to do this. I was disappointed again that the Liberal Democrats, who always say everything, they do everything, once again they failed the test of looking after residents, and the Residents Association of Independents. They did not want to back this call to fight together. I actually asked all members in my speech, let's not politicise this, but let's work together. And I'm really, really disappointed they did not want to stand up for the Surrey residents. You see, Paul, I passionately do believe I was elected by people who went out and put their personal vote for me and for many other people. And the 61 Conservatives recognise that and respect that. And we want to do what we can to make sure we look after our residents. It's tough out there. It's not going to get easier, but we need other people to support us.
Okay, and residents can actually help us, can't they? How can they help us?
I've already asked residents 10 days ago on BBC Surrey, would they consider writing a letter to their Member of Parliament, not an email, a letter. I know it's 50p and I apologise for that, But I would like residents to write a letter to their MP and ask their MP to support that the government does not impose a 17.3 million a charge against Surrey councils.
Okay, and if you can't write a letter, then I suppose an email will do, but you would prefer people to actually write, wouldn't you?
Well, I think the thing is, when a letter arrives, if hundreds of letters arrive for an MP,
yeah,
they've got to look at it. But if it's emailed, do they look at it? That's the question I have. Because once a letter arrives, somebody's got to open it and they've got to put them there for their MPs to see. I believe we have about 490,000 houses in Surrey. If every householder wrote a letter to their MP, those 11 MPs would be inundated with thousands and thousands and thousands of letters. If that doesn't get the message over that Surrey do not want their council tax funds to go up north or to London or even Northern Ireland, we want that money spent back in Surrey.
We need it here.
Yeah.
David Hodge, thank you very much.